St. Louis protest turned violent after white cop's acquittal leaves city on edge. Okay? This is a big one. Pay attention, McFly. Sorry, that's a term of endearment here. I don't know if you understand it, okay? So it's really not a derogatory term. Back to the Future, McFly. So if you're not paying attention, it's pay attention, McFly. Don't get all upset, okay? St. Louis protests turn violent after white cop's acquittal leaves city on edge. Protesters in St. Louis turned violent as darkness set in Friday, with at least 4 cops assaulted and numerous demonstrators maced following the acquittal of a white officer in the shooting death of an African-American drug suspect. But wait a minute, I want to put that back. You ready? White officer, okay? You can't trust Whitey. We know that, all right? In the shooting death of an African-American drug suspect. A black heroin-dealing thug. That's my translation. Okay? I just had to go there. St. Louis Police Department tweeted Friday evening that the protests were no longer considered peaceful as protesters threw bottles. Okay? Now the judge, okay, Smith, hundreds of demonstrators took to the street in St. Louis Friday after judge found St. Louis police officer Jason Stockley not guilty during a bench trial Friday, okay? Absent a jury at request of Stockley. He did not want a jury. You have that right. We got to be careful here. You have the right. You have the right to a jury of your peers. You have the right to a non-jury trial and put it in the hands of the judge. You have that right in the United States of America. Whether you're white, whether you're brown, whatever, you have that right. So Stockley was charged with first-degree murder after he shot Anthony Lamar Smith 5 times in 2017 following a high-speed chase. Stockley said Smith holding a gun and felt as though he was in danger. Okay? Now, the gun found in Smith's car only had Stockley's DNA on it, promoting the prosecution to allege it was planted. All right? Now, a couple things took place here that why is this being treated different than Ferguson and Michael Brown? Now I forget the officer's name in Ferguson, but why is this? And he was acquitted.
Darren Wilson.
Who?
Darren Wilson, I believe is his name.
Well, he was acquitted. Remember, he was acquitted. Darren Wilson was acquitted. Okay, and Ferguson, white cop, of course. But in Ferguson and St. Louis, there's one. Now, you remember at Ferguson, you had all the media group wearing their, you had Harrigan with Fox wearing his helmet, like he was in war, and he was walking down the streets following protesters. Why are you so angry? Why are you so angry? Why are you breaking the windows of a CVS? They only have cough medicine there. You should be headed to the liquor store. Why does the liquor store always get hit first? Okay. And Foot Locker. Foot Locker in the liquor store. Okay. Brother needs a new pair of kicks and a drink. So, anyhow, they go, they were following. Remember the media and all the satellite trucks? And, and Michael Brown's, dad or stepdad and mom, jumping on the car, burn this mother down and, kill the cops. And Al Sharpton got the bullhorn out and dusted it off out of the case and get me the next flight to Ferguson. And I don't know what is so different about this picture. You remember that? Al's out there. Didn't Al speak at the brother's funeral? Didn't Al just slick the hair back, get the Jerry curl going, and give a couple of these, up there at the funeral, talking about Brother Michael Brown and the injustice? Didn't they do all that? I mean, there's something just not, I can't connect the dots to why Ferguson, white cop, acquitted, drug dealing kid, okay, would not stop, got shot, whole story, boom, 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 right? What's the difference? Oh, Barack Obama was president. Oh, why are we so divided? Oh, why are we divided as a nation? Are we more divided today? Did Barack Obama have anything to do with fostering the divisions in our country? You remember I tell you all the time, you look at me like something's funny. I didn't realize. I didn't realize we hated each other. I didn't. I knew we had problems. Yes, I didn't. I knew things weren't perfect. But I didn't realize it. I mean, I was glad somebody finally told me, you know. In fact, there was days I didn't realize I was white, okay? I mean, they just passed right by me, you know. Anyhow, but Barack Obama was president. Eric Holder, there's people like Eric Holder, Loretta Lynch, Barack Obama. Wow. Joe Biden, But you see, Donald Trump, if you go to all the news accounts, I have not, unless this has happened in the last little bit, I have not heard Donald Trump go and sensationalize and get involved, you know, with this, you know? I haven't.
No comment. No public comment on it.
Right.
That's the big difference, isn't it?
That's it. But Barack Obama knew what he was doing. It was all set up by the media. The media it's cahoots, one of my favorite words, cahoots, okay? They were in cahoots. The president, your attorney general, the Al Sharpton, the domestic terrorist, all right, they called in the professional domestic terrorist, Al Sharpton. You got Eric Holder. The list goes on, right? And, so that's the difference right there. That's the difference. Is I will tell you this. The police officer, yes, the DNA. But I'm going to tell you now, the revolver, the size of the revolver that supposedly he found tucked down in between the passenger seat and the armrest, okay, that he pulled out, discharged the gun, took all the bullets out, supposedly, and put it on the driver's seat. Supposedly that happened. But the judge said, watching all the video, and even not the dash cam video, but even spectator or bystander video, okay, public video, that there was no indication that this would have had a big bulge, that this officer could have really hid this, and they watched everything. He didn't see anywhere where this officer hid this weapon on him to place it. That's number one. And number two, on the dash cam, when he was chasing the guy, he said, "I'm going to kill this." It's on the audio, blank, blank, okay, or blank. So I don't know, but the judge decided that was an emotional thing. Is this the judge?
This is Judge Timothy Wilson right here.
Yeah, and the judge felt that was an emotion of adrenaline that was going on in a high-speed chase, and that was irrelevant to the killing of this young man. So we have a heroin dealer, okay? We have what is the big thing? Magnus cum laude. What is the big deal? The high school. What your top honors? Top honors.
Valedictorian.
Well, valedictorian. All right, we'll go with that. Valedictorian. All right, we'll take that one. Valedictorian. So you remember Michael Brown? I guess that's what I'm looking for. Michael Brown was portrayed almost like he was the valedictorian of the class. You know what I mean? You remember that? And, and everybody assembled out there. And it was just a sad day at that funeral when the domestic terrorist Al Sharpton spoke. So anyhow, this one here, heroin dealer, thug heroin dealer, St. Louis. Folks, inner cities, I'm going to end with this. The inner cities of the United States of America, and not the big ones. You always think New York, Houston, LA, the inner cities of the United States of America. We have pockets of these cities, Atlanta, don't matter, Newark, New Jersey, even small like Ferguson. We have pockets of these cities that are gone. I know as pessimistic as that sounds, they are gone, period. The thriving economy in that area on the corner where they're selling the heroin is a liquor store, a drug store, somewhere to buy bread and milk, all right, and lottery tickets, all right, and malt, Colt 45, okay, malt liquor. I swear to God, you can hate me if you want, all right? That's just a fact. Go down there and look, all right? And what is the economy based on in that area? Government money, period. All government money. There is no capitalist money spent in it's 100% government money, 92.8%. We'll give a couple percent to possibility. All right, that there is nothing there. It's all generated government money from food stamps, housing, you name it, checks that go into these areas. They're gone. And the reason these areas are gone is because of progressive ideals, progressive policies. Democrats for the last 50, 70 years, we can't go all the way back in the history book, Woodrow Wilson and the Great Society of Johnson, that low life, no good. Oh, I tell you what, I got to hold back the words. That is the most, I know Woodrow Wilson, a lot of people, the father of progressive, and also the father of the Federal Reserve, but buddy, when it's presidents, I can say nice things about Kennedy. I can find something nice to say about Bill Clinton. I mean, he was Bubba. But LBJ, that low life, no good, there you go.
Wilson was government schools, though, and I think that was the biggest.
Right. So, but the point is, that's what you got from the Democrats. And that's what Trump's trying to turn around. But what's the difference in Ferguson and St. Louis? I will take a brief break. It's 9 o'clock.